Step one, strategic focus. So this is what I call a phased expansion. You have to focus on search demand, market size, search volumes, which is incredibly important. And the way I try to look at this is it a growing economy? How is the political climate? Is it a developing country? What trends are we looking at? So you can go into the US and the UK, Canada. We already know that. That's been done. It's a growing economy. It's a stable political climate. But if we want more, what do we actually need to do? So we need to see the favorable web purchasing trends. So are people buying this service? Obviously, it will differ for different industries, but you need to have this step one nailed down before you do anything else. If you don't, your international strategy will not be as successful. You need to look at your keyword research. So a tool that I like to use, which has done me very well, is Mangold. This tool helps you analyze search volumes for different markets. You can go as deep as a location. So if anyone here is from the UK, you can go into counties. You can do the same in regions, and even tiny, tiny cities where you can get search volume. This is amazing for localization in your international SEO strategy. So here, I'm looking specifically at the New York market for negotiation training. Now, the really scary part, domain structures. There's three main types. There's country code top-level domains, like Amazon, subdomains like trip.com, and my personal favorite, which we will talk a lot about, the subdirectory structure, which apple.com implements. How do you choose? It is difficult, and it is not a cookie-cutter technique. So if someone tells you, I've done a subdirectory, that does not mean you have to do the same. You have to analyze your needs and what you want your site to do for you, and if you have the infrastructure for these structures. So number one, the pros, you've got very clear geo-targeting for country code top-level domains, so like amazon.ca or amazon.co.uk, and it's a very easy separation of sites. This is normally amazing for enterprise-level businesses or the ones that want different autonomy across different domains. So you've got multiple domains, multiple dashboards on your CMS. The cons, it's very expensive. You need a lot of manpower, and your domains do not pass authority to each other. Subdomains, so trip.com does this, and if anyone knows HID Global Accessibility, the tap cards, and all the sliding doors, so every sliding door you've ever walked through is owned by HID Global Accessibility, and this is the structure that they implement. This is really good if you want different ownership of, say, a blog page. So HID Global has their main domain, and they also have blog.hid.com. So this is incredible if you've got a very hefty site of hundreds of thousands of pages and you want a separation of any sort. Last but not least, my favorite and the easiest, most impactful structure is the subdirectory. So what this does is you've got one domain, united authority on that domain, but multiple subfolders for all of those locations. It's, I say easy, it's relatively easy to set up, as easy as this stuff gets. It's relatively low maintenance and quite intuitive. But the cons are sometimes quite difficult to get around. Even though all of us SEOs think the world revolves around us, which it does, but in this case, it does not, because we might need different ownership, and it's not all about SEO. With this subdirectory structure, it's not an easy separation of sites. So if you want multiple management, this will not really work for you very well. There's also a single server location. So if you're opting for this structure, you're going to need a content delivery network or a CDN to make sure your site actually loads in all of those places. So just to sum this section up, subdirectories, easy to set up, low cost, with centralized authority. Your subdomain is good for semi-independent content, but it needs more SEO work. And country code top-level domains, They are country specific and require a lot more resources, so this last one needs a lot of planning if it works for you. Now, how do you implement it? We're getting into the more difficult part of this international SEO rollout. There's 3 ways. You've got HTML tags. You just add them into the head section of your website. You've got HTTP headers. This is for non-HTML content, so if you want PDFs on your website, and you can use this in conjunction with other implementations. And the last one that I would personally recommend, it's the easiest for crawling, for visibility, and the quickest turnaround, is sitemap implementation. There is also, if you do want to go with a country code top-level domain, you can actually do cross-domain hreflang sitemaps versus your on-page unified domain sitemap implementation. So with this type of implementation, you can have country code top-level domains that are not conjoined, that don't have to be a subdirectory, but you implement them via the location tags of each domain sitemap. So if you have, say, 65, 70 different websites, you can cross-domain hreflang them in each sitemap. So this is very good if you don't have a super high budget for all of those different domains and you still want to pass authority across all of them and you don't want Google to get confused. How do we actually carry this out? So now you've got the theory of how to do it, but what actually happens next? The good thing is that it's 2025, so there's a lot of intuitive plugins and resources that help you roll out an international strategy. This is one of them. A really good CMS plugin that I use is on WordPress. How many people have used WordPress or do WordPress right now? Give me a show of hands. Okay, that's good. That's kind of what I wanted to see as well. So we've got multiple plugins on WordPress. We've got WordPress multi-language, and we've got Weglot. Those are both really good international SEO plugins that you can use, and this is what it looks like. So this is just a quick example from my website. I'm expanding into 5 different countries, and you've got multiple versions of the same page that are translated. And remember, when we talk about translations in SEO, that does not always mean a language translation. You can be creating 5 variations of the same website. All of these could be in English, but targeting all of those countries. You can translate them, but I would recommend not using the plugin translation tools because they are a bit crap. So you would have to use a separate translation service. Nonetheless, this builds out the hreflang for you intuitively. If you are on a custom website, for whatever reason, and you want easy domain management and build a good hreflang map,